Hey, what's up soldiers? My name is GregFPS, Zombies Extraordinaire, and welcome to my full Easter egg guide for the Voyage of Despair in Black Ops 4 Zombies. This is going to be a very detailed video, and I usually like to take about a week to make sure I've compiled the correct clips and I learned the map properly so I can actually teach you guys how to do this Easter egg in a very easy way for you guys to understand. If this video does help you out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new, and yeah, let's jump right into it. So the first thing that you guys need to do is activate the Sentinel artifact, which is going to be located on the poop deck, which is the back of the boat on the Titanic. So you just go up here and you press square X or F, basically the activation button, and as you can see, it's going to form there, and now there's going to be 4 red orbs that are going to shoot out to different altars where you can activate Pack-a-Punch. Now you actually need to go to all 4 of them. So the first one is going to be located right here on the poop deck, literally right in front of where you just activated the Sentinel artifact. You just press square X or F. The next one's going to be down here in the turbine room, which is basically the engine room, which is going to be right there. The next one is going to be located in the lower grand staircase, kind of in the middle of the map. And once again, you just press X, square, or F. And the last and final one is going to be in the cargo hold, which is in the front of the boat, literally directly under where you spawn in. So once you press all 4 of those guys, you are going to be well on your way to completing the Easter egg. That is pretty much the first step of the Easter egg. Now, whenever you guys do an Easter egg in Black Ops 4, I recommend that you guys build a shield. This one is called the ballistic shield, and if you need a guide for that, it'll be linked down below. If you also need a better guide for opening Pack-a-Punch, I'll link that down below as well. So now it's time to find 4 triangle symbols with the corresponding times that are available in 6 possible locations. So the first location can be here, right behind this box, and the corresponding clock is going to be right here. In this game, we didn't end up getting the symbol there, so that's one of the 6 locations. Now, once again, you need 4 different symbols, and only 4 will spawn in per game in 6 possible locations. The next place we're going to be going is going to be the galley, and you open up this part by going on the mid deck, and you go up this boat that falls down once you open Pack-a-Punch. So you go down here to the galley, and there's going to be 2 rooms. Each room has the possibility to have 1 part, which we're going to need later on in the Easter egg. So over here in this room with the dead body in the middle, right near the shelf, there's going to be a symbol right here possibly. Now in my game, it was a triangle with a line through it, and we needed to get the corresponding time. Now, as you can see, the time is about to be 10 o'clock, but in Treyarch's mind, this is actually going to be 9:55. So whatever the hour hand is on, that is the number you need, and then it would be 55 for the 11. Now, the next location that one can spawn is going to be in the first class lounge, and you look at Pack-a-Punch, and to the left of that, it can be right there, not Pack-a-Punch, the mystery box location, and the corresponding clock is going to be right there above the fireplace. Now, this is another location where it was not there in this game. The next place we're going to be going is going to be in the upper grand staircase, and above one of the doorways is actually going to be another symbol. Now, it's the doorway right here leading outside. Now, as you can see, it's an upside down triangle with a line through it. So the corresponding clock is going to be right here. And as you can see, the time is right there. So it is 11:50. Now, the next location that we are going to be going to is actually going to be to the corresponding area where you actually enter these times. Now, there's going to be a desk, and as you can see underneath the desk, we got a regular triangle, and the corresponding clock to that one is going to be right here. Now, it was 7:35. And last but not least, guys, the 6th and final location where you can get a actual icon as well as the time is going to be underneath these stairs right here in the mail rooms. And as you can see, this one's kind of engraved. It's a little bit harder to see, and the corresponding clock is going to be right here. So once you get all those times, guys, make sure you write those down. And now you're going to enter exactly what the minutes are according to the times that you checked. So for this one, it was just 05. This next one, guys, is going to be the next one we're going to be doing, which is the triangle upside down. And this one was supposed to be at 50. This one is a normal triangle, and we had to set this one accordingly as well. Now, if you're playing solo, you definitely just want to pause your game. This one was 7:35, I believe. And the last and final one, guys, is going to be on the other side of that room, facing the opposite direction. and this one is going to be the regular triangle with a line through it. Now what you need to do is change this one as well. So once you get all those done, those are only the minutes ones. Now we need to go do the hours ones and set them to the correct time that were on the different clocks. So this one, guys, is going to be down here, and we're actually going to go into the engine room first and do these. Now don't worry, guys, it is a little confusing, but make sure you write down the times with the actual symbols so you know exactly what to do, because that's how I laid out the guide for you guys. So this first one is going to be this top clock right here, and don't worry, guys, I made sure to show you guys which symbol it's going to be. It's going to be the upside down triangle in this clock right here. Now this is in the engine room, like I said, and it's going to be that one right here. Now the one on the other side is going to be the regular triangle instead, and this one is going to be on the bottom. So just make sure that you guys remember that, and once again, set it exactly properly to exactly what you guys are doing, and make sure that you set these to the hours. These two pertain to the hours of the clocks that you got with those symbols. And now the other two locations where you enter the hours is actually going to be over here on the poop deck, and you actually have to go up on this platform where you activated the Sentinel artifact. Now, once again, I have the symbols for you guys, so it's just a lot easier to follow. I found that this was just much easier for you to follow. This one is the upside down triangle with a line. Now you want to set that one accordingly there. And once again, just turn it once because it was 55. And this one is going to be the regular triangle with the line through it. And this one we're going to set to 9, I believe, because it was 9 o'clock for a time that we had. It was 9:55, I think. So once you do that, you'll hear this. And that is the activation noise to know that you guys have done that step properly. Now it's time to get on to the next phase of this Easter egg. Okay, guys, so on Voyage of Despair, there are going to be 6 outlet locations. One of them is going to be down here in the 3rd class bursts, and as you saw, fire was coming out of it because there are going to be 4 out of the 6 outlets that are going to have a specific element or catalyst zombie type coming out of the outlet. That one was fire. Now, the other ones that we're going to need are going to be acid or venom or poison, some people like to call it. We're also going to need ice, and we're also going to need the electric one. So that is another location inside right there in the aft decks inside of the barrier. Now the next place we're going to be going is going to be right down here, and trust me guys, once you find these a few times in the game, you'll know exactly where to go. The outlets never change, but only the locations and what specific catalyst type is going to be at those locations that are going to change. So the next one, guys, is going to be in the dining hall, and this one is right here. As you can see, the poison one is coming out of it this time. This is right next to Ra. That is one of the locations. The next location we're going to be going to is going to be in the 1st class lounge, which is where Zeus is. And as you can see, we're going to go right into here. And this one is going to be to the left hand side if you're looking at Zeus, and this one is going to be like right in front. Now you can't really see it here, but as you can see, the electric is coming out of it, so that is another outlet location, and we still have 2 more locations to get to. The next one, guys, is going to be at the top of the upper grand staircase, and it's right next to like the door to go outside, and it's just going to be sitting right there. And the last and final one, guys, is going to be on the bottom floor right outside of spawn. Now when I'm playing with my friends, I basically just say it's spawn. It just makes it a lot easier than calling it by its actual name. That's just my personal opinion. Now I've like formed a ton of different names, but it's in the staterooms, and it's going to be this one right here. And as you can see, ice is coming out of it. So now guys, what you have to do is get a kill of the elemental zombie type to get that little symbol to show up on the ground. So you're gonna get zombies starting to spawn if you're playing co-op on round 6. So as you can see, we have one that we're going to be getting here, and as you can see guys, electric is coming out of it. So that means that you have to kill an electric zombie in that area, so you need to kill it inside of that room. Now you will start getting zombies spawning on round 6 if you're playing co-op. If you're playing solo, it usually starts on round 7 if you're doing the Easter egg on solo. So just make sure that you guys know exactly where to go. This one is ice, so now we need to kill an ice zombie, and you can only do 1 per round, so that's why we went from round 6 to round 7. And you guys are going to see we're going to go to the next round as soon as we finish this one, which was ice. And once again, we got the symbol to spawn. You have to be about 10 feet within that area of the outlet in order to actually get it to activate. So the next one, guys, that we need is going to be, I believe, fire. So we're going to be getting a fire zombie right here. And once again, you just want to kill it close. And as you can see, we're now on round 8, which is the next round after that. And once again, we got the fire one to activate because we have the symbol down there. And last but not least, guys, the last one we're going to be doing is acid, which is right inside of here. So we're just waiting for the acid zombie to come and actually activate this. Now, at this point, you want to make sure you have really good weapons from the box. I recommend a Kraken or anything of that sort just to actually take out zombies really fast. Now, what you have to do is go to those locations in order by going to the poison one first, and you press square. Now what this is going to do is take you into a short boss fight. The first one is located on the poop deck, and I decided to speed it up just so you guys don't have to watch. But basically, a bunch of the poison zombies are going to spawn. Now, if you're using a Kraken, I recommend that you kill the poison zombies and get the decay attachment that you can get for a Kraken, and I will explain that in a little bit more in detail. But basically, once that's done, you can grab the max ammo, and after each different area, you need to also pick up the Sentinel artifact. So make sure that you guys press square on that every single time you pick it up. So the next one after poison is going to be water, and you have to do it in this specific order. So you need to remember exactly where you killed each element type. So this one was in the stateroom, so we're going to go here and press square. Now this one is fairly difficult, I would say, just because you go into an area. Chances are you already drained the water here in the cargo hold, but it's going to fill up with water, and each time you're going to be getting blight fathers and the specific zombie like element type or catalyst zombie in those locations. So you really need to be careful here. This one is probably one of the more challenging ones because it's filled with water. You have blight fathers spawning on you, so just make sure that you guys have well equipped weapons. I would say the Kraken's really good, the Helion Salvo rocket launcher's really good, and getting some good LMGs and stuff like that is really going to help you out. So once again, you have to pick up the Sentinel artifact once you're done, and now it's time to get on to the third one, which is going to be the electric version or small fight. So this one is going to be here for me in my game. Now these are going to be in random areas depending on your game, so keep that in mind. And once again, we're just going to go here. The artifact automatically is going to lift up, and now we're going to be getting the catalyst zombies now, or the electric zombies. This one's probably the most challenging just because you get blight fathers, the area is fairly small, and the electric zombies actually blind you, which is super annoying. So you really need to make sure you take out all of the electric zombies and then take out the blight fathers. That's my personal opinion. But you really shouldn't have too much of a problem, once again, if you have good weapons. And the blight fathers are really not that hard to kill, in my opinion. If you have decent weapons, you'll be able to take them out really, really fast. So once again, the first and third one always spawn max ammos. So I recommend grabbing it after the end of round, the first one that you do, and then at the end of the third one that you do, which is going to be here. And once again, it will flash white, and then you can pick up the max ammo. And now it's time to get on to the last one. Now you can do all 4 of these challenges on the same round, so keep that in mind. Save a zombie. So the last one we're going to be doing is going to be the fire one. This one is the hardest one, and you spawn in the boiler rooms. And all you're going to do is go up this little hill and stand up here on this catwalk area. Now you're going to get a bunch of the big fire zombies, which are super annoying, and you need to make sure that you guys take those out as fast as you possibly can. They are so annoying. The Stokers is their name. And also you're going to be getting fire zombies, so this is a great place to use your specialist weapons or anything like that to make sure that you guys take these out really quickly. Now if you're playing in a co-op game, I recommend you have people watching your back and people watching the other way, because they will spawn in both locations. So if you're playing 2-player, have each player face one direction. That usually works out the best, and that is what you're going to need to do for this last and final one. And once you do this, guys, you're able to go on to the next step, which is actually going to be on the other side of the boiler room, which is going to be in the engine room. And overall, I would say that these are fairly difficult, but they're not as hard as the boss fight. The boss fight's definitely a lot more difficult. So the next thing you need to do is build a distillation kit. So the first location that a part can spawn can be right here in the galley, and it's going to be in the galley or the kitchen area. Now, there's only 2 spawn locations for each part, so one of them's there, and the other location for this part is going to be on the other side, right on this shelf right here. Now, the next one we're going to be getting is going to be in the first class lounge. And as you can see, it's this part right here. It can show up on that table, or if it's not on that table, it can spawn on this table. And once again, there's only 2 locations for the parts for the entire distillation kit. And the last and final 2 part locations are going to be in the mail rooms. And one of the locations is going to be facing the portal, and it's going to be on this box right here, just sitting there. And the other location is going to be kind of like behind the stairs. There's going to be a bike that's leaning up against the wall, and it's going to be in the box in front of it, as you can see right here. So once you get all 3 of those parts, guys, you're going to make your way over down to the engine room, and this is where you're going to build this one. Now, this is extremely important for this next step, but you can do this earlier in the round. You don't have to do it now. You can do it at any point in the game before this step. So as you can see, we're going to go into the engine room, and we're going to go right over to this table and build it here. Now, what you need at this point is going to be a Kraken, and you can get a Kraken from the box like I do in my game. I'll also put a link down in the description to get a free Kraken. It's one of Smart Guy's videos. It's really easy to follow, so you guys can check that out as well if you need to get a free one. So once you get a Kraken, you need to kill one of the poison zombies, which are the venom zombies, people like to call them, and you need to kill it with a Kraken. Now, you have a chance of dropping concentrated decay. Now, this one did not drop it, so I was kind of unhappy about that, but I ended up getting another poison zombie, which is right here. Now, once again, the first one that you are going to do of those challenges is going to be poison. So all you really have to do is kill those poison ones, and you can pick up the concentrated decay if it drops it. It has about a 75% chance to drop the concentrated decay, and this is exactly how you get all of the different elemental variants of the Kraken. So once you get that and you have already built the distillation kit, all you do is go up to it and press square, and it will convert your Kraken to that specific type for 3,000 points. Now, I recommend that you guys change it to the concentrated decay first if you plan on pack-a-punching, because it costs 3,000 and then obviously 5,000 to pack-a-punch. But if you pack-a-punch the Kraken by itself before you get an elemental type, then it's going to cost 6,000. So you can save 3,000 points if you pack-a-punch after you turn it into a specific element type on the Kraken. So now that you have that, it is time to go down to the engine room, I believe, or the turbine room, and you're going to be shooting some pipes. So let's get right into this, guys. Alright guys, so this is why you need the decayed variant of the Kraken. There are going to be some blue pipes that have smoke coming out of them, and what you have to do is shoot them with the decayed variant of your Kraken, and you will start to see drops coming out of the pipe rather than smoke. Basically, what you're doing is destroying the pipes with this acid variant so that the room is going to become flooded. Now, there's 9 of them total, and they're a little bit hard to see in certain cases. So if you guys just want to follow my guide here, that is totally understandable. I recommend that you guys do that so you don't miss any of them, because obviously I shoot all 9 of them in this video. Now, some of them are like a little bit hard to see. They're not the easiest thing to see. Some of them are in dark corners where you can't really see if the pipe is actually blue, and there are going to be some other pipes that smoke that aren't blue as well to kind of throw you off a little bit. So just keep that in mind while you guys are playing. Now, once again, make sure if you're playing in a co-op game, have someone train zombies away from you. It just makes it so much easier, and it's just one of those things that can get a little bit hairy if you're doing it in the middle of a round. Now, unfortunately, we ended up rounding like halfway through me shooting all of these pipes, so my friend just came in with his Kraken and defended me a little bit, which helped a ton. Now, once again, guys, guys, you don't want the pipes to be smoking. You want them to be dripping, like as you can see. One of them is going to be like in the middle of the room on the roof, and the last and final one is in a really dark corner. So this is why I showed this one last, just for you guys to be able to see. It's really difficult to see, and I have my brightness turned up a pretty good amount, and I still could barely see it. So once you shoot that one, a pipe is going to burst and water is going to start filling in the room. Now, we ended up getting a stoker there. I don't know if they just spawn after you break open the pipes, but I wouldn't be surprised. So make sure that you guys get out of there and you stay safe, because you're actually going to have to go right back down to the turbine room for the next step. So I recommend just teleporting out of there to stay safe. And what you need to do is pack-a-punch the Sentinel artifact. If the pack-a-punch machine is already down here in the engine room, then you're all set. If it's not, you need to end the round so that the pack-a-punch machine appears down here, and it will automatically come down here in the next round if it wasn't already down here. And you have to pack-a-punch the Sentinel artifact. Like I said, it's going to turn purple, and then you just grab it. So now the next step that we're going to be doing is activating 9 symbols that are located around the map. Now I'm going to show you guys all 9 of the locations here, so it's really easy to follow. The first one is going to be up here on the forecastle in the front where you spawn in, and you just press square on that one. The next one we're going to be going to is actually going to be down in the mail rooms, and you just need to go down the 2 different flights of stairs, and zombies are going to be spawning like crazy, so be careful when you're doing this. This one is going to be right here, and you activate it, boom. The next one that we're going to be going to is going to be in the stateroom's bathroom, and you'll know it's the bathroom because there's a checkered floor on the ground in this room only. So as you can see here, it's checkered on the floor, and there's a plant on your left, and it's going to be behind the plant. So boom, we're going to activate that one. The next one we're going to be activating is actually going to be in the Millionaire Suites, and this one is going to be underneath a table right next to the bed, the nightstand. As you can see, it's right there. The next one we're going to be going to is going to be in the bridge area, which is actually on the 3rd level of like the spawn building, 2 levels above the staterooms. And this one is going to be right behind the wheel that you turn for the ship. So as you guys are going to see here, this one is kind of on like a bookshelf, it looks like, or a shelf of some sort. So I don't know why I went behind my friend, but it's right here and it's on the bottom, so you just press square on that one. The next one we're going to be doing is going to be on the staircase. Now this one is fairly easy to see as well. The cool thing about this one is you can actually shoot the moon and then grab the orb that's going to drop, but this one is right here, and as you can see, it's right next to the moon. You can see it out the window, and we're going to be shooting planets, and each time you activate one of these symbols, a planet is going to spawn. So the next one is going to be upwards on the aft decks. So I recommend just going through the galley. Chances are you already opened it because you needed the part for the piece for the Kraken already. So this one is going to be in this life preserver right here. So once again, you just activate it. It looks kind of like a Poseidon symbol for some reason, so you activate that one, and the next 2 are actually going to be over in the engine room right in front of Odin, and the last one is going to be in the boiler room. So there's 9 of them total. If you guys follow my guide, I show you exactly where to go for all of them. And the good thing about this is once you know all these locations, you're going to be able to do the planet step a lot easier, because the orbs all show up right next to where all of these symbols are. So it makes it a lot easier to understand this step of the Easter egg for sure. So as you can see here, we're going to go right down next to Odin, and in front of Odin, there's going to be like a plank of wood, and it's going to be sitting right next to Odin on the plank of wood, as you can see right there. And the last and final of the 9 symbols is going to be in the boiler room, and for this one you actually need to go prone in order to actually hit the symbol, and it's going to be right there on the pipes. You have to go prone. It's a little bit hard to see, just make sure it disappears, and then you are actually done that step, and it's time to get on to the hardest step, which is the planet step. Now down here in the cargo hold, there's going to be a model of the planets. What you have to do is press square, and each of them are going to light up. Now don't worry guys, I made a guide, but you need to know exactly the order that the planets spawn in. So this is the guide that I'm going to show on screen right now. It shows every single one, exactly what planet it is and where it shows up. Now, all these planets, once you activate that, are going to be in the sky. Now, you need to shoot them properly, and what I recommend doing is using the sun as kind of the go-to point for figuring out which planets are which. As you can see on screen, each of them are going to be different colors, which are going to help you guys pinpoint exactly which one it is. Like, obviously, Saturn is going to have rings around it, or for example, Jupiter is going to be the biggest one, or well, besides the sun, Uranus is going to be pink, etc., etc., Neptune blue, Mars red. Like, just follow this exact guide and you guys will 100% get it. So now I'm going to go and shoot each planet and grab each one and the locations that I got. Each game is going to have a different combination, so it's not going to be the same combination as mine. So make sure that you guys record it. You can use your phone or something like that to record the exact process that it goes. And once you activate this, a ton of zombies are going to spawn in constantly, and they won't give you any points, which makes this challenge really, really difficult. And also of boss zombies as well, you're going to get a bunch of stokers. Blight fathers are going to spawn, so it can get really, really hectic overall. So make sure that you guys are paying attention and you're working as a team if you're playing co-op, or if you're playing solo. Just make sure you guys shoot the correct planet. If you do not shoot the correct planet, then you will have to restart on the next round, which really sucks, and you have to activate the planets once again. So without further ado, let's get right into. Alright guys, so I kind of cut myself off there, but basically the first planet is going to be Mercury, which we're going to shoot right now, which you guys are going to see, and then I'm going to show you the exact location. Don't worry, I have timestamps down in the description that are going to be for each planet. So now Mercury is going to end up being in the mail rooms. So you're going to go down here, and there's going to be kind of like a mail like wheelbarrow type thing. It's right here. You just press square on it and grab the orb. That is the first one that I had. The next one is going to be Uranus, and this one is going to be in the staterooms. So we're going to shoot Uranus next in the sky. And I really hope this helps you guys out, because I know a lot of people didn't have this in all their guides. So this should help you out perfectly. This one is in the staterooms right there on top of all that luggage. So that is the next one, guys. The next one we're going to be doing after that is going to be Jupiter, which ends up being in the engine room. So this one is a little bit bigger. It's probably the biggest planet, I would say, and it's right there, the one with like the brown rings on it. And once again, this one is in the engine room. So as you guys are going to see here, it spawns directly in front of Odin, the perk machine that's there, and it's going to be like floating in the air. Now, I didn't actually know that when you jumped, you had to press square or hold square to actually pick up the orb. So make sure you guys do that, because as you guys are going to see here, I'm going to jump into it, but it's still going to be there. I thought you actually just needed to grab it, but you do have to press square and grab it. So that was the next one. The next one after that I got in my game was Moon, and since it was Moon, I could literally shoot the moon from here. Now unfortunately, I don't think you can use the Kraken because it never works for me. So just make sure you have a regular bullet gun when you're shooting it, and just shoot Moon. It's going to land right outside of the window there. So this one was definitely made for solo players, because you can easily get this one solo, no problem. I did it by myself instead of having my friend shoot it. So this one is really, really easy. Just grab it outside the windowsill right there. The next one is going to be Saturn, which is going to be on the bridge, which is behind the steering wheel of the boat towards the front. And this one has rings. Obviously, Saturn has rings. So we're going to shoot that one. And once again, we're going to go right to the front of the ship at the bridge area. And this one is going to be inside of this room, sitting on top of a chair when it lands. Now, a bunch of zombies spawn every single time that you shoot the planet. So just be aware, you need to clear it out. You're going to get a bunch of stokers and regular zombies. The next one is Neptune. Now, Neptune is blue, and it always spawns out in the water, which is really, really weird. So you need to find this one in the water first, and then shoot it, and then it will go up into the air and then drop back down to the location, which the location is on the aft decks, which is basically landing right on this boat that's here. And I believe this is the same boat that the characters use in the Easter egg ending cutscene. Spoiler alert. So as you can see, we're going to grab that right there. and boom, we're going to get that one. The next one is going to be Mars, which is in the boiler room, and this is the small red one. As you can see, we're going to shoot that one, and now we're going to go down into the boiler room. Now this one is going to be on top of some pipes. It's really not that hard to see. It's right on the catwalk where the original piece was, and it's literally right above where the icon was, and it's going to land on some pipes. And this one, a bunch of zombies are going to spawn once again, so make sure you guys are aware every single time. Boom, that is the next orb. And the last orb that my friend is going to shoot is going to be Venus, which is going to be in the Millionaire Suite. And Venus is kind of a smaller planet as well. You guys should be able to see it. Once again, use the sun as a frame of reference for all of these. It makes it a lot easier. So boom, we're going to shoot it, going to go into the Millionaire Suite, and this one is actually going to land right on top of the bed. So you can pick this one up right after. Really easy. As you can see, boom, we're going to get that one. And the last one is actually the sun, which all your teammates have to be at the forecastle, and you need to shoot this one. Now, for some reason, you can't stand on the forecastle and shoot it. You have to like go on the stairs. Otherwise, you will miss it completely because you can't really aim straight up. So boom, right there, we're going to shoot it, and it's going to land right on the forecastle. All your teammates in the game have to be here for this last one. So once all your teammates press square on this, you've completed the planet step. Now it's time to shoot some ice. So literally, you can go any path you want, but you want to just shoot all these blocks of ice with your weapons. Now, I would recommend using the Kraken for this. It works really well. And Treyarch did nerf the specialist weapons, so they don't do as much damage as they originally did. Originally, I went down because I'm a noob. Originally, like the staff was like insanely good for this, so that would have helped a lot. It's still like decent, but it's not as good as just shooting it with a Kraken or any other like really good weapons. Like the rocket launcher is super good. I believe I like fully upgraded a rocket launcher only takes 4 shots to break all the ice, so I'd recommend doing that. Now you can follow the exact same way that I went, but all the other ways that you could go, all the different paths, have the same amount of ice blocking it. I've tested like all of them, so I just find that this one is the most straightforward. There's a lot of open areas like right here where you can run through and kill enemies. Now enemies are going to be spawning the entire time. You're going to get a lot of the Stokers, you're going to get a lot of zombies, and a Blightfather is going to spawn towards the end as well. So just make sure that if you're playing co-op, have someone focus fire like behind you and protect you while you shoot the iceberg. Now, if you're playing solo, you can actually shoot the Kraken like right next to it, and it will actually still damage the iceberg and also damage the zombies and the Krakens, or not the Krakens, the Stokers and also the Blightfathers. So I recommend just taking them out as soon as possible so they don't damage and hurt you. Now, we're almost at the end. We're on the aft decks right now. This is a really fun step, but it's definitely extremely hectic as well at the same time. So it's definitely really fun. I love this step. I thought this was a really cool Easter egg step because you're kind of like battling through all the zombies. And here is where the Blightfather spawns. As you can see, he was coming to wreck our day, but unfortunately he didn't for him. So we're going to break this last one and run to the back of the ship. And the last one is on all the way in the back of the ships on the poop deck, right all the way in the back. And you have to break this one open in order to open up for the final Easter egg boss fight. So as you can see, we're going to spam it. And once your screen turns white, you have completed it. Now, if you fail, your screen will turn ice and it will reset you back to where you shot the sun. So now it is time for the Easter egg boss fight finally. All right, guys, so all of the players in your game have to go up to this symbol just like before when you're doing the trials, and you hold square. Now, the first thing you need to do is swim towards this blue light that is resonating from the tree. This is actually inside of a giant iceberg. It's really weird, but basically you're going to place the Sentinel artifact, and it's actually going to go right into place inside of that tree and kind of wake it up, which is really weird. Now, apparently there's some sort of mythology stuff going on. I'm not going to explain that because I don't really know too much about it. but I'm sure there's videos out there. I'm sure like Nick Saru has made a video on it and stuff like that. So you can check those out if you want to know like the full story behind this. But now you're actually going to go back to the poop deck, and this is where you're going to start the boss fight. But before that, there's going to be a cutscene where a giant iceberg comes out of the ground and literally floats in midair. It's really, really weird and interesting. And eventually in the boss fight, once you get to stage 3 out of 5, you're going to be battling and fighting against an eyeball that is apparently Odin's eyeball. So it gets really, really weird. This Easter egg boss fight is, in my opinion, the hardest out of all of them in Black Ops 4 so far. But this one is definitely really, really crazy and intense at the same time, because you have so many different boss variants coming at you. You have Blightfathers, you have Stokers, and obviously you have the eyeball as well, which is kind of annoying. So there's the giant iceberg just floating in midair, and then you're going to start it. So this first sequence, all you're really doing is killing all of the zombies that spawn. There's going to be Stokers, like I mentioned, Blightfathers, or as I like to call them, Blight Daddies. And basically you just kill them, and eventually you are going to get a bright flash, and that means you're done the first wave. So now it's time to go to the second one, which is actually going to be in the engine room. Now the engine room one gets really, really intense. I recommend having someone on the bottom level, which was my role in this game, and then 2 people on the top level. If you're playing 2-player, 1 on top, 1 on bottom. If you're playing 4-player, 2 on bottom, 2 on top. That's just how it works the best, in my opinion. So as you can see here, once again, you're just fighting against all the zombies. A lot of Blightfathers are going to spawn in this one. You're also going to keep getting Stokers and zombies, and also elemental zombies as well, which can blind you if you get the electric ones. And there's a lot of fire zombies and stuff. So this one definitely is pretty intense in my opinion. This is one of the harder ones. Now we're gonna finish that stage, and you get a carpenter and a max ammo every time. So the carpenter repairs your shield, so make sure you get that like right away to make sure you have a full shield the entire time, because it's gonna help a lot. And the next one is going to be in the staterooms. Now, this one is by far the absolute hardest, because this is the first stage where you actually have to shoot the eye. So he's going to shine this like laser beam, and you need a rocket launcher for this Easter egg boss fight, because the rocket launcher does the most output damage towards the eyeball, in my opinion. And I recommend staying in this room right here. It's kind of in the middle, so you have a good line of sight for the lasers that the eyeball is shooting. And also, if you're playing in like with multiple people, have one person with a rocket launcher and another person protecting him. And if you're playing in 3-player, have 2 people with rocket launchers. And if you're playing in a 4-player game, have 2 players with rocket launchers and 2 people protecting on each side. I think that this room is the best because you are basically in the middle. So depending on what side the eyeball goes, you can shoot it pretty easily with the rocket launcher. Now, the rocket launcher, like I said, puts out the most damage. So if you pack a punch it all the way, it's going to be really strong, and it only scales up. But if you're playing in like solo and you have the rocket launcher, it literally only takes like 2 shots to actually destroy this like part of the boss fight. So if you're playing in 3-player, it's going to take like 6 shots, and it does get pretty intense. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of boss zombies, a lot of Stokers coming to wreck your day. Thankfully, I have not gotten a Blightfather in this part of the Easter egg, but I think if you take too long, you will end up getting Blightfathers to spawn in there, which can be extremely crazy. So as you can see, the laser just downed me, but we finished, thankfully. So I got revived pretty much instantly. And now it is time to go to the 4th stage of the boss fight. Now, in my opinion, the 4th stage is actually really, really easy because it's in a really big open area. It's in the Promenade Starboard deck. And as you can see, like, you basically have all this area. Now, what you need to do on this part is just like on when you're in the other part before this one, where you need to shoot the eye when he is shooting the laser. He only becomes exposed when he is shooting the laser. So just keep that in mind, guys. Just run back and forth. You will get zombies, you will get Stokers, but just use the rocket launcher and shoot him when the laser is coming out of his eye, and you should be able to finish this part of the boss fight really really easily. This is, like I said, probably the easiest one because you have a ton of room to just move around, and you're really only going to get zombies and stokers on this one. So it's really easy to do really fast. So we literally finished this one in like a minute, not even. And once again, make sure that you grab the carpenter and the max ammos at the end of each one, so you are fully maxed out on ammo. As you can see, the eye is starting to break, and you know that you're getting really close to finishing. And I believe we finish on this one or the next section when he shoots the laser. So it's really not that bad. And there we did finish it. So now we're just going to grab the max ammo. And now we're going to go back to the poop deck for the final stage of the boss fight, which in my opinion is by far the hardest part. I've died on this part at least 3 or 4 times now. I've completed it a couple times as well. So anyways, guys, this one is really hectic. You're going to be getting Blight Fathers, Stokers galore. And you also need to worry about shooting the eyeball when he's shooting his laser. Now, there is a charge attack that the eye does that will literally kill everyone. So when you don't see the eyeball, like the actual eye, and you see it, you hear like a weird noise that's like charging, you need to focus fire on the eye and get him out of that phase. Otherwise, he will do a wipe attack and literally kill everyone. So it gets really challenging. Now, I recommend that you guys use the staffs of Ra, because you can revive your teammates no matter which level it is, all by shooting them once with it. And this is like by far, like I said, the hardest part of the boss fight in all of Black Ops 4 Zombies. This part's really difficult. You just need to make sure you kill the Blight Fathers and the Stokers. Otherwise, you're gonna get trapped in multiple different areas and just get wrecked. Now, I ended up going down right here by the laser and also from the zombies. So thankfully my teammate was able to shoot him with the rocket launcher and finish him off at the end of the boss fight. I went down 6 times this game. Literally all 6 of my downs were throughout the boss fight. So it definitely gets really challenging. I think I got like 4 out of 5 in the 5th stage. So, or 4 out of 6 rather. So anyways, guys, that is the entire Voyage of Despair Easter egg. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to message me on Twitter at GregFPS. If this video did help you out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope this video did help you out and help you complete the Voyage of Despair Easter egg. My name is GregFPS, the Zombies Extraordinaire, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.